Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, make sure you hit the subscribe button, make sure you hit the like button, and make sure you ring that notification bell so every time I upload you'll get notified. This is going to be the recap of the Tanners Creek Buckeye Division. This is the 4th tournament of 5, as well as this is my 3rd as a co-angler. Well, let's get into it. The water was muddy, 6 inches of visibility. We had, my boater was Bob Logan. He is from Lima, Ohio, up north from me. I'm in Dayton area, so he's up north from me. He said he didn't practice very well. Didn't know exactly where the fish are at. Very odd, because if you notice in the previous video at Tanners Creek, the water was super low. Well, this time it was high. It was actually, they were dumping water in from the lock from upstream. It was, I don't know, 3 feet high, 3 feet higher than what everybody was expecting. So we made our way back in the back of a creek arm. Started out throwing a buzzbait toad, kind of like this one, like a toad frog, right? Or toad buzz toad, whatever you want to call it. It was black. I threw that because it was muddy water. I tried a popper, no luck on that. I ended up going to a wacky rig. I threw a wacky rig for a little while. I broke off probably 6 different wacky rigs and absolutely caught 0 fish. I have yet to catch a fish on a wacky rig. It's frustrating. You know, go back, take a look at the video. Let me know if I'm doing something wrong. For what it's worth, I take good and bad criticism, so don't bother me any. Always glad to hear what people think and everything else. So, but yeah, they had kept doing flipping thing. I threw a X-Zone Biospawn Exo worm, black and blue, nothing. I had a few lures on for the morning bite. I sat down to do some adjustments on my poles. I ended up changing about 4 out of 6 poles. I ended up changing things over. I went a lot, instead of like a DT8, I threw a DT4. So not a rattle trap, but a square bill, round bill. I threw one of those. I downsized. I got a nice little container of smaller baits. I threw a small crankbait. No luck on that. I went to a soft plastic. I was throwing that with the jig. No luck on the jig. I was getting a little frustrated. My boater caught one. It was cool because then it was actually the first keeper he caught. Then we kept going down. I threw the square bill again. It was a It was a 6-cent square bill. I think it was like a 4K shad or bluegill, something like that. It was a bluegill color. Had some rattles. I think it was a light rattle. Ended up throwing that. I had something bite. I went to set the hook. I fought for a little bit and came off. So I don't think he actually had. I think he was just swiping at it. So that kind of made me think a little bit on what I probably should be throwing. Again, muddy water, the water's high. Normally the bass would go up and move up toward, they'll move up and into cover. So I was waiting on that. That's the reason why I started throwing the jig closer to the cover. No joy there. I threw the wacky rig quite a bit because I've yet to catch a fish on the wacky rig. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to lock it in my hand for a while to see. It was a finesse presentation. 124 boats. And some people were down there. I mean, you got to think, not only we were fishing as a tournament, but there were other people fishing as well. So, Boater caught a second one. Had GoPro issues, go figure. He had a line, we call it a line burner, but it was actually 13 inches. I thought it was because 12 inches is the minimum to keep a bass down on the Ohio River. He was flipping he had a small crankbait, he had a sweet beaver, Reaction Innovations. I'm going to say it was a sweet beaver. He said it was a sweet beaver, but it looked like to me it was more of the smaller size. The smallie beaver, something similar to that is what he threw. But his was green pumpkin and purple flake. So, I mean, obviously this is green pumpkin red flake, but he would throw this one, and that's what he caught his fish on. He ended up catching, we turned around, we went back to where I had the bite. No joy from there. Not a lot of people were catching where we were at. He ended up flipping there. He says, hey, I'm going to throw 2 more casts and we're going to get out of here. I said, okay. First cast, bam, 3-pounder. So he's like, all right, we're just going to keep grinding. I said, all right, let's keep grinding. By this time, I had to take a break, and then figure out what was going on. But I did figure out, I kind of changed the way I was thinking outside the box again. I ended up throwing a black and blue. Something, it was a black and blue baby D-bomb. I threw one of those, no joy on that. I asked him, just exactly what he was using. He said, I just got a 3/16 ounce weight, free. It wasn't even pegged. It was free load or whatever. It can move freely, and then he was throwing that sweet beaver. He ended up catching. He ended up catching a second one. It was a 3-pounder. It was probably about 1 o'clock, 1:15, something like that in the day, and we had to be back at 2:30. So he was like, man, I was about ready to leave too, and we caught this one. And I was like, well, that's fine, not a big deal. So I ended up catching 0. My boater caught 4. His total weight was I don't know for sure. I have to double check it, and I'll put it somewhere on the screen. I believe it was like 9 pounds, 9.4, something like that. Which is ironic because he is from north part of Ohio, the northern part of Ohio, just north of me. And he says I don't do well on the river. The dude ended up winning the boater side with 9 pounds. It was crazy. There's people was coming in with a boater coming in with 1 pound 13, or no, one boater came in with 13 ounces. Caught a fish for 13 ounces. It's called points in this case. I mean, you go for points in the MLF, so you get to the regionals and then you qualify, and you keep going from there. But biggest thing is getting to the regionals. So my boater ended up winning the tournament with 9 pounds. Next stop for us for the Buckeye Division is the Super Tournament. It's a 2-day tournament. You got to qualify in the first day in order to make it the second. I want to know, I need your guys' help a little bit. I'm going to try a free rig at Mosquito Lake. And I need to know what to throw on the back of a free rig. Some people said to use any soft plastic. Thing is if anything, since they got just a bluegill forage, that'll probably work really good up there. This might work good up there. A trench hog might work good up there, or even like a something like this. Little gill dust underspin. I'm going to try to throw some 6 cents baits, or wake baits, Zeri baits, headhunter. I'm just going to throw some of these, speed glides and stuff, and then I'm going to throw some wake baits. And here's a moment, a movement EDX. I'm going to throw that. I want to see if I can catch something on those. I mean, I'm there to enjoy myself. I'm there to try to win, obviously, but I think I'm gonna have that one on one rod and reel. I'm gonna have a wacky rig. I'm gonna try to grind that wacky rig out. I mean, I've used it in 3 tournaments, and caught anything on a wacky rig. Isn't that sad? Drop shot. I'm going to have something for a drop shot. Probably not going to do much on a crank. The cranking side of the house, I may have one cranking rod because there's a causeway that splits splits Mosquito. The thing is there's a lot of grass. It's a grass bed. That's the reason why I use spinner baits or chatter baits or something like that. But I could throw a square bill at that causeway because it's rock and stuff like that. I don't believe there's any grass that's growing up there. Most of the grass is topped out about 3 feet from the top. So, this movement 80X is 1 to 3 feet. Or, something like this coming swimming through there. Problem is they got pike there, so that'll be fine. But like I said, I was going to have a free rig. I'm going to have a free rig. Let me know in the comment section below what is your go-to free rig bait that you put on your hook there, to catch fish. Because I want to try it. I want to try the free rig. I may throw a chatterbait. So my cranking rod doubles as a chatterbait, so a chatterbait rod. So I might just take one. I mean, I have a lot of things here that I could use. It's just a matter of finding out what they're hitting on. But yeah, I don't know. Let me know in the comment section below. It's always good to tackle with you guys. I'm learning just like everyone else is. You know, at the age of 44, I don't know everything. I know just about, you know, taking line and putting line on fishing poles and doing the best I can to show what I can, especially as a co-angler. Eventually, I'm going to make it to the front of the boat. Yeah, just I mean, this channel, I built this channel so we can share ideas and explore and get to know and learn from each other, and as a way to, as a co-angler, I think you should use a wake bait. You know, I don't know if my I don't even know when my boater is, but yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna take quite a few steps. I'm gonna put stuff in a box. I'm gonna have stuff in a box. I'm gonna take it with me. So if I'm there and I decide to go ahead and use it, I'll have it with me. So if you could let me know collars and stuff, what are pretty good collars that you would use for a free rig, that'd be helpful. Because I will, you know, I'll take your guys' suggestions and I'll put them to use. But that'll be the last tournament, I think, of the year for me. Fortunately, I was doing a lot of recovery for my surgery from last year. A lot better than what I was. Next year, I think I'm gonna hit. I'll have a lot going on next year. But before we get out of here, like I said, I'll show my boater going across the stage from the weighing his fish, courtesy of MLF.
Next got Mr. Bob Logan. 4 in the bag for Mr. Logan. Looks like 4 good ones too. Out of Waynesville, Ohio. Good job today, sir. 4 bass. How about the 5th one?
Couldn't get him.
Never had him. He's got 4 in the bag. 4 bass going 9 pounds, 2 ounce for Mr. Bob Logan. 9.2. Big bass is 2.6. That's a 3-pounder. 3 even on that one. Twins, 3 even. Good job, Bob.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
We're excited for stop number 5, the Super Tournament, Skidoo Lake. And that's all I got for this video. Thank you for swinging by. Thank you for clicking on the video. As always, thank you. God bless. Tight lines. We are out of here. Deuces.